Why did entire towns used to bring their children to watch someone die? Right now, you've probably scrolled past a violent headline today without flinching, then felt a strange pull to click on it anyway. You tell yourself it's morbid curiosity, a flaw, something slightly shameful about the way your brain works. You're not broken. You're running software your ancestors needed to survive, and almost nobody has ever explained to you why it's still installed. For most of human history, execution wasn't hidden behind walls. It was scheduled, advertised, attended like an event, and the methods devised were not random cruelty. They were engineered, with disturbing precision, to do one specific thing: install a memory into every single person watching. Consider Poena Cullei, used in ancient Rome for the crime of killing a parent. The condemned was sewn into a leather sack with a dog, a rooster, a snake, and a monkey, then thrown into a river. It sounds insane until you learn the animals were chosen deliberately to represent chaos and the inversion of natural order. This was theology, performed as punishment in front of as many witnesses as the state could gather. That's the pattern. Not cruelty for its own sake, cruelty as communication. Anthropologist Christopher Boehm studied how early human groups, with no police and no courts, maintained order across populations too large for personal relationships to manage. What he found was that public consequence, not private punishment, was the entire mechanism. A punishment nobody saw taught the group nothing. The breaking wheel, used across medieval Europe, broke the condemned's limbs joint by joint, slowly, specifically so the suffering stayed visible for hours. The mechanics were not a malfunction, they were an engineering choice. Death needed to be slow enough and public enough for the lesson to land. Here's the truth drop, and it will change how you see your own brain. Sociologist Émile Durkheim argued that punishment was never really for the person being punished. It existed to draw a line in front of everyone else. The condemned individual was almost incidental. You, watching from history's safe distance, are the actual audience these methods were built for, even centuries later. And that uncomfortable pull you feel listening to this? Researcher Coltan Scrivner studies what's called morbid curiosity, and his work shows that humans are wired to seek out detailed information about death and danger because that information once had direct survival value. Knowing exactly how your neighbor died taught your ancestors something real about a threat nearby. You are not strange. You are running an ancient information gathering system that hasn't caught up to a world where most of this information no longer protects you personally. So what do you actually do with that knowledge? Notice the next time you feel pulled towards something violent, shocking, or morbid online. Don't shame yourself for it. Name it instead. That pull is a 200,000-year-old survival instinct firing in a context it was never built for. Recognizing it for what it is, rather than reflexively indulging it or reflexively suppressing it, is the only real upgrade available to a brain running this old. The next time a town square needed for that instinct doesn't exist, but the instinct still does. What you choose to feed it is now entirely up to you. You'll probably never witness an execution, but you already understand in your gut exactly why your ancestors couldn't look away from one.